Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Cricbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
It's always sad to see the defending champions go out, but they didn't really play like defending champions, did they, at any point?
Two things strike you about that scorecard the moment you see it. The first thing that strikes you is what a good surface it was. The West Indies were not in the game at any point and still came to within 20 runs. Of course, that late flourish helped, but you got 190 and 360 runs in the game on a surface that had already been played on yesterday. So that tells you one thing. Second, when was the last time you looked at a scorecard that said 169 for 8 and found two players in double digits? And I think if you look down the single digit scores, you've got Gayle, Russell, Pollard, Bravo. There's 4 of yesterday's players. I don't know how far Evan Lewis and Jason Holder will go, and I don't know if Roston Chase has a long career in T20 cricket. I don't know yet, because that's the future. They're all good players. I'll be surprised if Lewis, Holder and Chase are not still part of West Indies sides. The 2 in double digits are tomorrow's players, and I think there's a very clear sign in that scorecard of where West Indies cricket is headed. Gayle and I think Bravo have both announced that they're not going to be there anymore. There's going to be a couple of question marks over how much longer Pollard can keep doing his magic, because it's been a sensational career. And Russell has been found out, actually. 0-2-0-5 on this in this series. So Russell will have to reinvent himself, and we'll have to figure out how far Pollard will go. But 5 years ago, the West Indies have given so much fun. The West Indies have been pioneers of T20 cricket. They've given us so much fun. They've taught the world, in a sense, how to play T20 cricket. But it seems to me that 5 years ago was a generation away.
Certainly was. The university have now departed from this tournament, Joy. Disappointing, but there's obviously a reason, and Harsha has just put those reasons down on paper, and I think it's fair to say that they really wouldn't have competed in these semi-finals.
Yeah, I don't think they looked... See, that's the point. That at no point in this chase did they look as if they were in it. The only times they were in it was when Pooran and Hetmyer were there for a brief while where Pooran was still flourishing. And that's something that you don't say much of the West Indies. One of the big problems they've had is, every player goes through a stage where it becomes very difficult not to select him, because his reputation is very big and it's a big tournament. And yet, you know that possibly they're past their prime. I mean, there was a stage in 2011, 12, 13 in Indian cricket where Sehwag and Gambhir could have either become captains of India or be dropped from the team, because they were at that strange stage that they're too good. If they're dropped, there's going to be a complete, everyone's going to shout, how can you drop somebody like a Gambhir? But they were not performing in the field. And I think West Indies had not one, they had about 3 or 4 players who felt into that category. I mean, whether you take Chris Gayle, whether you take, Andre Russell, what form he is in now. And all these players in a situation where, think about it, if you had left Andre Russell or even Chris Gayle back in the West Indies, or sent them back to the West Indies because they were playing here before that, they would have been chaos in the West Indies. See, our best players, they won us a World Cup, what do you do? So at some point in time, you understand the board, and somewhere I really genuinely feel that the West Indies board will look and say, okay, fine, it happened, it's better it happened this way, they'll quietly retire and we can get on with life, because sometimes this happens to you.
I mean, the other thing, all these players have been world beaters. So that means they've gone through a dip and have come up again. It takes a very discerning eye and a very tough decision maker to work out whether this is the last low and whether there isn't another high. And even if there is another high, whether it's a high worth investing in. And I think if that, I would have been surprised if they'd left out Russell, but Russell's numbers over the last 8-10 months have been dire. I mean, I know that he started off the CPL bowling really quick, but Russell is a funny guy. When he comes in and bowls really quick, you're worried. And when he doesn't bowl quick, you're worried.
Yeah.
So I think he's got to go back. Yeah, I think he's got to go back, look at his body, look at what he's got to deliver. I think Kieron Pollard's a very proud man. He'll still be thinking about it. The other thing is they were outfoxed today by the manner in which the Sri Lankans played. Getting the quicker bowlers at a particular time, getting the spinners at a particular time, and 2 very fine tomorrow's players produce the runs. Tomorrow's players, Tikshana 4 overs 21 and Hasaranga 4 overs 19. in a 9.5 over run per over chase, they've gone 8 overs 2 for 40. It doesn't matter who else bowls after that.